Morning. This is Samuel Jacob Kirshner, voice of the breeze, welcoming you to our meditation hangout, Saturday morning in New York. And today is Yom Kippur, which is the holiest holiday for the Jews, for the Jewish people. And I just wanted to start by saying a couple of words about what this holiday means to me. Uh, so I grew up with Yom Kippur being quite a horrible holiday. Um, I was told the story that between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, God sits with a book and reviews everybody's deeds of the year and decides whether to write you in the book of life or in the book of death. That's what I grew up with. And my biggest fear was that what if he decides to take my mother? That's what I grew up with regarding Yom Kippur. And so I have carried this phobia, this Yom Kippurophobia for most of my life until about, I would say, until about 10 years ago or so, maybe more like 8 years ago, um, when I came out of severe depression. And I realized that I am in some ways participating in a codependent relationship with God, of which I'm assigning, I am giving God this responsibility, this power, this assignment to to make this decision of who is going to live and who is going to die, and that's not even consistent with how I really feel about God. And I'm a God-loving person. I believe in God, and not necessarily anymore the God that I was exposed to, but I never actually did. But I have a sense of godliness in me that is very, very important to me. Only for me, it comes down. To me, God is life, and God is in the breath. So, but it's been a process of translating it to life, to everyday life. And this is one of these everyday life things that happens every year. And I would be finding myself stressing and getting anxious and getting really like panicky about like, am I going too fast? Am I not going too fast? What am I to atone for? Then on the other hand, I believe in atonement, not really in this whole guilt laying and judgment and punishment and all of that. And something in me woke up. I was woke to the notion that this is a figment of somebody's imagination. It's not consistent really with how who I am and how I feel. I mean, to me, God is love, and so why would God be judging me, especially for things that I do? I mean, I sin like everybody else. I miss the mark. But why not do it with celebration and compassion and make it sacred, the process of actually learning from mistakes and correcting them, and not under the gun and under the guillotine of uh, you know you're going to die, you're going to be punished, you're going to be banished, you're going to be forsaken, you're going to be condemned. This whole condemnation thing to me is, oh my God, how can we do it to children, to to rear them this in this way of of having them be so frightened. Uh, I only know from my own life what it's like to be so frightened of life, of yourself, that you can't even live with yourself anymore. So when I hear today anybody telling me that they're gay, but they are, I don't know, Catholic or Muslim or Jewish, uh, and that they believe that God will condemn them for their gayness. And I'm like, who created you? And yeah, God created me. So why would you create you in such a way that He would condemn you? So, and I've learned that these are the kind of things that you have to come to in yourself from your own experience, that it's not about giving good advice. Good advice goes a long way. And, you have to be ready. And sometimes, unfortunately, you have to have suffered enough of the repercussions of your belief system to realize that, your belief system can be changed. You can change your belief system, and you can believe in things that are really loving and hopeful and positive. Why believe in why believe condemnation? I don't understand it anymore. But then I feel that I have suffered enough. I feel that I have been through the seven gates of hell, I hope. And at this point in my life, I don't want to contribute to any unnecessary suffering. You know, some pain is absolutely mandatory when you lose a child, when you're hit by a hurricane and your house is gone. There's a pain, of course. There's a pain of loss that comes up. And then it is up to us to choose, um, not to get stuck with the suffering about that. So pain is mandatory and suffering is optional, said the Buddha. And, of course, it's a matter of how do we interpret it in our lives. What kind of suffering am I incurring right now that is unnecessary? Who else can indicate that but you? So I just want to wish you that you will wake up sooner than later to whatever unnecessary suffering you are incurring in your life and also inflicting on others, perhaps. Um, and turn it into love. Yeah, it's that simple. Turning it into love. Yes, yes. In a sense, loving yourself enough, having enough compassion for yourself to realize that whatever belief system that you are following, uh, maybe was inflicted on you, you learned it as a child, and uh, you can change it. You can evolve. You know, you're the master of your destiny in that way. Uh, and so I am right now really enjoying so many moments and days and times in which I feel that I am having a heavenly experience, as in being in the Garden of Eden. And last week, I was walking Sunday morning with my friend Ariel uh, downtown in the East Village, and we came across this mural, which I would like to show you, but I cannot show it to you right now. It's a mural that is really a depiction of the Garden of Eden. And we took a couple of pictures, and it's with animals and really has that feeling of harmony and living together in peace and in joy and in love. And um, I know that's not the world we are living in right now, but I do believe that we can have these heavenly Garden of Eden experiences. And I pretty much wanted to dedicate my morning talk to that. To how can you find um, Garden of Eden heavenly experiences in your life, uh, even with everything that's going on that's completely unlike it, that's actually even hellish, including the state of the world. You know, I mean, there are many moments nowadays that it's very easy to get frightened and to feel very concerned, very worried about what's going to happen. And at the same time, there's a way of there's a way of connecting to the breath, opening the heart, and surrendering to the moment, and really connecting to the heaven inside of you. Uh, the kingdom of heaven is inside. It is part of my practice, and it is what I love sharing the most about. Is the how, you know, when everything seems very, very negative, desperate, painful, hopeless, um, there is still a way of connecting to the breath and the breath of life, and allowing it infuse us with love, with compassion, kindness, and with healing. And yeah, so that's what I am here for, to celebrate and share about this. And I have daily experiences of that. So today I want to play the Hopi message, and the breeze message intertwined with some music in the background from the 60s called Inagata of Ida, which is a shortening, or I don't know, an LSD trippy. It's like from the Woodstock days in the Garden of Eden, basically. So I will play the Hopi message, and I'm going to ask you to join me in both listening and doing the 5 steps. So we'll do some multitasking, which is part of this work, to do it from the breath, to multitask from the breath. So I will just give the instructions very subtly. Basically, we have 5 different steps: shaking, flowing, standing like a tree, walking, and dancing. Here we go. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Breathing in, breathing
You have been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour. Here are things that must be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in the right relation? Where is your water? No, your garden. It's time to speak your truth. Create your community. Be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for the leader. This could be a good time. There's a river flowing now, very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel like they're being torn apart, and they will suffer greatly. No, the river has its destination. The elders say, we must let go of the shore, push off towards the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above the water. See who is there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Take care of and honor yourself, the earth, and each other. Remember who you are. Breathe love. Move with grace. Follow the pace of your breath and the pulsation of your heart, and connect to the truth in your soul. Let go of struggling with yourself. Trust in life and laugh out loud. Transform misery and oppression to joy, oxygen, and ease. mourn old loss, and heal old trauma. Allow for new and beautiful dreams to be born in the present. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in healing celebration. We are the artists of living, the ones we've been waiting for. You are free to be love now.
Dance and celebrate. Keep breathing. Dance for the breath. Celebrate being alive now. Let's stay a moment with ourselves, with our breath. Be one with the breath. Be the breath. Be love. Be whole. How many moments in life do we have that we are absolutely okay being who we are now? Nothing more nothing less. Maybe this is happy. I feel when I'm in this state, I am start to read it. There's no fear, anxiety, no stress, nothing to do, just be. How do you feel? What's your experience right now? I hope that you are able to find that safe and sacred place in which you feel whole and complete now, and the taste of the garden Eden, right now in the midst of your life with everything that's going on. I can't say enough about how amazing it is to live like that all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, night and day, to be able to come to that safe, sacred place inside the breath, inside your heart, present, where you are not the victim of anything, where you're not in denial of what's happening around you, but you don't take it on. You are life. You are part of life. You are not the spectator looking at life out there. You're not bubble. You are you're part of the ocean. This is my favorite thing to experience and to share. And even on Yom Kippur, this is the space that I celebrate atonement, another way of saying atonement. So if you'd like to learn more about this approach to life and experience it with me, I teach and instruct and share this with people in different ways, both through one-on-one sessions and in groups online. We have actually two programs now that are, one is developing this practice, the practice of the breeze, uh, conscious breathing practice. This is all about being conscious, of course. So developing that, it's a 7-week program, and it can be done both in person and on Skype. And yeah, I work with people all over the world. And there's a 12-week program that's called Artists of Living in a Sacred Manner and Celebration. And that is more being held accountable for living in this meditation 24 hours a day. So to find out more about all our offerings, go to thebreeze.com, breaze.com. Until next Saturday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, this is Samuel Jacob Kirshner, voice of the breeze, wishing you a day filled with joy, oxygen, and ease.